Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my village. So today we came to the church here in the village, and right this minute where I am, this is where I came. This is where I schooled in my young age. Back then we used to call it primary. I don't know if these days is still primary, because for us we used to say, if let's say you are in grade 1, we used to say standard 1, but these days they say grade 1. So those are the classes right there. But I'm understanding the school is no longer operating. That's what I've learned. I didn't know that. It's been long since I was here. It's like maybe, let's say 3 years ago. That's when I was here. When the last time I came here for church, it was for something that I really don't want to talk about a lot, because it brings back some not so good memories. But today I gathered the courage. I came with my brother and his wife, and the church was good. So I'm also noticing, you see that tree? It used to be a trademark for this place. You could see this tree all the way from very far, but I'm told the tree fell. Do we say falling? It fell on its own. I don't know what happened. The tree fell. And that's another thing that made me sad as well. Let's see what happened here. It's written. Yeah. It used to be a trademark for sure. So let me just go back and let me just go back, and there are some boys there calling me like I really wanted to be rude, but I'm like, this is just Gen Z. Do they know I can be their mother? Huh? There's a high school there and it's boarding. When I was schooling here, it wasn't a boarding, it was a day school, but now it's a boarding. So they're actually calling me mom. That's better. Sasa mambo niko poa. Kwa nini amsomi? Mko shule ama? Mnasoma hapa? Boarding. Siku hizi ni boarding. Sasa mna board na kwenyu ni hapa karibu ama? Sasa si mwende tu nyumbani. Eh? Kwenyu ni wapi? Mnatoka Nairobi mnakuja boarding Ushago? Oh, sasa nimeelewa. Oh, hapa ni home. Nafanya content. Kuja wasalimia basi. Lakini sasa wewe una nguo. That guy is shirtless and okay, kuja mseme hi na msipige kelele sana. Sir, what is your name? You can speak English, right?
Yes. Naitwa Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Unasoma pale?
Yes.
Uko which form are you?
Form 3.
Form 3. Na wewe?
Yeah, my name is Melvin.
I'm
Form 3.
Oh, in Form 3?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Helena Sanj.
Helena Sanj.
I don't know if you will hack that. Mko na simu?
Yes.
YouTube subscribe. Helena double Sanj. SANCH. Kwetu ni pale chini. Unasikianga mzee alikuwa anaitwa Thiongo?
Yeah.
That's my father.
Your father?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that's good.
Sawa basi, nimetoka church, siwache niende home alafu taongea.
Yes.
Na msome?
Lazima.
Mwache jokes
Yes.
Iko on ina wave. Sema hello.
Hello.
Unaitwa nani?
Kapedi.
Content creation, it's working these days. It's not as bad as back then.
Sisi tunafanya content.
Mnafanya content TikTok.
Yeah.
Muna rap. Ebu give me a line. Give me a line. Come on. Okay. Give me a line.
Leta ujingo utapata mabari, tuljikoki aje jana na bado ki shada kina waka mzinga kwenye kulewa bidi on the street, mina tesa leta ujingo utapata mabari.
Nice. That's a good talent, yeah? Work on it, yeah? It can really pay, yeah? So how many are you kwa shule, like how many?
Population.
Yeah.
Population 5.
5 something.
Lakini sasa kuna watu kama sasa tumekaa mapema.
So do you all of you board ama kuna day scholars na boarders?
Boarders and day scholars.
Oh, mi when nilikuwa nasoma hii primary but sijui kuliendaje, naona it's dead.
It's there, yeah.
But my brothers walikuwa wanasoma hapo. Lakini it used to be a day school. Nimejua leo watu wana board.
Boys boarding.
Oh, boys boarding.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, sawa. Asanteni.
Yeah.
Namsome.
Yeah.
YouTube channel Helena Sanch. Ni venye mna pen ningewaandikia.
So hii pen kwa hiyo sweta, kwa hiyo
Okay,
sweta hapa.
okay, bring, I write for you. So I met those young men. I took they do have YouTube channel. They are rapping, even though the lyrics can be a bit tricky, but with time they will learn. So I just encouraged them. I told them to study as much as they want to be musicians. They need to have a bit of education. So going back to church and then we head home, and I think I'll see you at home. That's my church, guys. This is where I used to come for Sunday school, for brigade, for youth, before going to college and going to Nairobi for greener pastures, as we call it. So yeah.
Welcome to the village shenanigans. So there was no one to make lunch for us because the person who stays at home was in church as well. So it was time to make ugali with firewood. So it was a matter of fighting with fire, smoke, firewood, name it. But we managed to make a very big ugali. I was in charge of making the stew, as we call it here. In this case, we were just frying some beef and some cabbage. So I went ahead, boiled the meat. At the same time, I was cutting the cabbage. I was multitasking because we were very, very hungry. But in no time, the food was ready. So I was cutting those spring onions. I think they're called spring onions. We got them from the farm, straight from the farm. Look at the way they're looking so good. So I did cut a few for the meat. And because people are waiting and they were really rushing me, because I think, when you go to church, I don't know why you just come out hungry. So guys, watch this video until the very end. Give it a like and enjoy my village. So, Gafla bin Vu, my sister-in-law, was in the outside kitchen dealing with the ugali. And here I was, like I said, dealing with the stew. And there we go. The food was ready. As you can see, we made ugali, a big one. And the big portion was mine because I was starving. I ate until I could move.
So we are done with eating ugali. We need a few things in the farm and we have been told we have to go and fetch them ourselves. So let's go to the farm. We have some beans there and coffee. Okay. Hey. Coffee is doing very well here. So where? Yeah. Okay, the beans here. You are going to harvest. There are no avocados. Jaza. Yeah. Oh yeah. The potatoes. Those who don't know how the potatoes looks like that. Where zimezaa? We are supposed to go get a banana, a sweet banana down there, and we are here debating, should we go, should we not? But we have to because we are the ones that wants that banana. Yeah. More potatoes here and more potatoes and more. Napier grass kwa wingi. Coffee is looking good. So we are supposed to get this sweet banana here and we are debating, is it ready? But the person who sent us said it's ready, so we have to cut it and carry it ourselves all the way up there. You still want to get married in Kiambu, you have to go through the hills here. It's not a joke. Okay. Hey. So, nani anaingia hapo kwa hiyo dhara? I think it's the one. That's the sweet banana. Have some tea leaves, or rather tea. Looks so good. And every time I come to the village, I love coming here because of this view. See, there are homes over there. Some homes. You see that view? If you go down this way, you go to the river. And the tea is looking so good. And now it's time for us to go back into the house. Who is carrying the ndizi? It's me. You will carry? Bring the panga. So we're going back. Hey, I'm wearing a dress and the napier grass is messing with my legs. Hey. That cow needs to be milked. The way it's like, meaning it wants someone to go and milk it. What time is it? It's at 4, yeah. Village shenanigans. There is our banana there.
It was time for us to go back. We got the sweet banana, and sweet bananas usually or normally they're not big in size. Another thing, I hope you have learned that where I come from, which is Kiambu, or rather Gatundu South, we do something called intercropping. Mostly you'll find many people who have coffee do plant other crops. You will find like they have planted potatoes or sweet bananas, or not sweet bananas, I'm sorry, potatoes, beans, or sweet potatoes. One thing my brother told me, if you decide to do intercropping, make sure the plant you have planted will not grow taller than the coffee itself. That's why mostly we go for beans, potatoes, or sweet potatoes.
Guys, we're back, and I think we ate ugali too much, because as for me, hey, guys, climbing other hill, it's not a joke. Yeah. And I can see my brother is coming. Where? He's right there. He's coming to check on his fruits that he planted. Madam, harakisha bana, mulima imekulemea ni ugali. You know, we ate too much ugali, you know. Nimeshiba, wacha tu. Tree tomato here. Let's see if we can get it. So tree tomatoes, some people call it ribena, but others say tree tomato here, but not yet ready, so we leave it. And my brother says he has apple here. Is this apple? Okay. And more fruits. I think it's this one. And lemon. Okay, and these ones that look so many, ini kawaida tu. Oh, these are veggies. Looks like terere. And then some popo, where hata imezaa. It has some children in there. Yeah, there are some popos here. Two small ones. It's gonna be a good one, yeah? Hey, after eating ugali, like our life is ending now, we can't even walk. And this one is apple? Oh, okay. Apple or apple, depending on with your English teacher. Okay, that's a good one. So we are going to be enjoying fruits here, yeah? When we come for Christmas, right, Madam? Yeah. Okay. So guys, let's go on the other side of the farm, and the sun is out and it's shining, looking so good. Let's see if we can get bananas for cooking this other side. If there is, I'll have to go back and get the panga. I left it. So I'm supposed to see if there is banana for cooking. You know, there are two types of bananas. Cooking, and the one you just leave, they ripen. And I think the one for ripening is the one that's here, but I already have a full one that I got. So I'll just have to leave this one. Let me show you guys. See, this one here. This one is ready. The other one not yet. For cooking, I don't see, but let me check there. You see? And I'm loving the sun. Oh, it's hitting my face. Oh, it's not yet. It's not ready. It's there, and it's even if it is, it's up. I can't manage. I cannot manage to get this one by myself. I have to call my sister-in-law to come and help. Let me show you guys. That one up there, I can't manage. That one, I need help for sure. But before I go back, let's walk a bit and see the tea leaves on this side, because there is tea leaves here. Some lugwats. They're called lugwats or lugwats. English is not English in here. There. Overeating is very dangerous. I'm telling you, after eating that ugali, I've become very, very lazy. Is that a cow? Oh. Yeah. It's been long since I came here also. Well. These are beans also. More beans and more beans. Where? What is that? And more tea leaves, as you can see, all the way to somewhere there. So that basically ate. The land reaches somewhere down there. There's a small river, but I will not go there. Like I said, I ate too much and I don't even have the strength. I just want to go back, take tea now. I'm waiting for them to milk the cow. After they milk the cow, I make some tea, take the tea, and now relax. I was gonna show you when they're milking, but one of the cows is aggressive and I don't want to be hit, honestly. So guys, I think that will be it. And what is that walking on me? Is it napier grass or some animal? Oh, it's a napier grass. So basically that will be it. The video won't be too long. That's my home village, starting from where I went to school, to my church, to my home, to everything. So I'll just go back now, and then probably if I catch some views, I'll be sharing with you guys. Seeing me for the very first time, hit the subscribe button. If you have been here for so long, thank you for sticking around. Give my videos a thumbs up, leave a sweet comment, and probably I'll see you in the next one. Our neighbor has a very nice napier grass here, guys. See? It's looking so good. And here our main cash crop is coffee and tea. But mostly this area is coffee. But if you continue going up towards that side, that's where you find tea. No, I'm saying this is our road. The road looks good, to be honest. And it makes it convenient for us to come home I think from Nairobi to here it takes us like less than an hour. But my only problem is the fact that the way cars and bikes speed here. But I don't think people have a problem with that. I'm the only one. Every time I come here, I usually stand on the road and I will see how the cars are coming and speeding, but I don't see anyone complaining about it. I think they're okay. But I think they need some speed bumps. But that's not my job. But I think they do need, because also the kids are here all the time, crossing from the neighbor to the next neighbor. So I'll just go through the shortcut. We have a shortcut here. I don't have to go all the way. The gate is somewhere there, but let me just use the shortcut here and go back home. Adios. Bye bye.